Okay. So, we have been discussing about the description of a Jambudip right now. So, Jambu is a fruit. Why it is Jambudip? It has been described the jamun fruit, and Jambu also means a mango. So this island, it has been described that the mango trees and the jambu trees are so big that fruits coming from the tree of those jambu trees create a river now. So there is a river made out of mango juice, and there is a river of jambu. So therefore it is called the Jambudip, because it creates a river of Jambudip. And we were talking about how the different avatars appeared in a different platform of this Jambudip. And so far we have discussed about how many? The Mataji who took our notes are not here today. Where is Mataji? I think Hema Mataji, that's what name is? Oh, there is some program? So, we were talking about Uttar Kuruvas, where the Ishtadev was Lord Brahadev. So we studied about Lord Brahadev. How much do we know? What do you know from the last class about Lord Brahadev? What is Brahadev? When we say Brahadev, what incarnation is he? Boar incarnation. Why boar?
He can dig the...
So the Lord takes the avatars appropriate for the current situation. Yes? So at that time, big problem was that he had to dig something down from the water. So perfect avatar for that is the boar incarnation. So it has been described that right after the battle, the Supreme Lord fought a battle, and in between he played around with Hiranyaksha, because Hiranyaksha, this demon, was great powerful. And these two devotees, or Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they are always an eternal servant of the Lord. Because originally, who are they? Jai and Vijay. Okay? They are actually in Vaikuntha. But their relationship with the Supreme Lord is called the Mahatma Gyan Prema. There are two relationships. Or you develop a love for Supreme Lord through two things. One is called the Mahatma Gyan Prema, and one is called the Keval Prema. Like the gopis of Vrindavan are Keval Prema. They don't love Krishna because he is the most powerful boy. They don't love Krishna because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why do the gopis love Krishna? Is it because he is Supreme God? Do they ever know that he is God? And sometimes when Krishna tries to show them that I am God, do they accept the fact? No. So therefore, their relationship with Krishna is based on knowledge or just love. What is it? Love. So therefore, this is called the Keval Prema. One way you can understand or have Krishna is through the process of Keval Prema. What does Keval Prema mean? Only love. Okay? And another part that you can understand God, in most of the cases that's what happens, is called the Mahatma Gyan Prema. Mahat means?
Glories of Krishna.
The great. Yes? Gyan means? The knowledge. After understanding the greatness of God, you want to get to Him. Or you want to accept God now. Because you know how great He is. Okay? It's just like, what is the closest relationship? Say, who is the most closest person in your family life? A wife, children, or your co-workers? Who are you very close with? Wife, children, or the co-workers?
First mother and then wife.
Shadi tak mother.
Okay? So, again, if that's the way you are going to take, in a motherly relationship, is there anything called a Mahatma Gyan Prema? I will love my son only if he is very great. Yes or no?
No.
No. So this is Keval Prema. Now once a dedicated wife married to a husband, her relationship with her love with her husband is going to be based on how great educated is he?
No.
Or based on just a love and affection?
Just the love.
Just a love and affection. Now, if we consider the first part, that we say, yes, I would have loved you more if you are educated. Then the entire relationship is messed up. If that becomes the platform, then everything is messed up. Because there is always, more and more to learn. Isn't it? So therefore, you will always judge. Yeah, yesterday I did not meet a guy who was so educated, so you are better than the yesterday's one. But today in my office, I talk to the guy who was more educated than you. I expect you to be more than him now. So that is not going to have any relationship. So what is better? The relationship that takes birth from only love, or the relationship that is taken birth from the conception of awe and reverence? What is better when it comes to love? Now say that this is in our part. In Krishna's part, what do you feel better? If Krishna begins to love you based on how qualified you are, what do you prefer? That he unconditionally loves you, or he loves you based on your own qualification? What do you appreciate more?
Unconditional.
Why? If Krishna begins to look at education, do any of us get there?
No.
So therefore, the unconditional love is always better. So therefore, the love of gopis is always considered better, because they were never conditional. But here, these two people that we are talking about, they are called the Jai and Vijay, who are considered the bodyguards. Now, you think that anybody is going to attack the Supreme Lord? Like if Krishna is sleeping or Lord Vishnu is sleeping in the water, in the top of Sheshnagas, being guarded by 1,000 hooded Sheshnagas, you think there is a chance that God will be attacked if the bodyguards are not there?
No.
Why then bodyguards are there in Krishna's Dham, or Lord Vishnu's Dham? Why bodyguards?
That's a formality.
There is no formalities. In Krishna's world, there is no formalities. When Krishna wants to do something, he has married 16,800, how many wives? 16,108 wives. What is the formality there? Anybody marrying that many women, what type of formality is he following? No formalities. So for him, first principle is protecting his devotee becomes the all formalities. Now in this case, Jai and Vijay are to show us that does not matter how we want Krishna. Even if we say, Krishna, I want to be your bodyguard, there is always a space for him. Now if we say, oh Krishna, I want to be your mother, he won't say, nahi, Yashoda Maiya ko le chuka hu, or I have already accepted Mother Yashoda, you can't be my mother. So in a relationship to Krishna, it's just that we have to desire and we have to be sincere about it, and we have to practice our devotional service such a way that we make ourselves qualified to accept Krishna. But Krishna will always be there. So in this way, these were the two devotees who did so much of bhakti. They came to center all the time, heard Srimad Bhagavatam, but at the end, when their life was perfected and they became a nice devotees, they asked Krishna. Krishna said, what benediction do you want? They said, we want to be your bodyguard. Can we? So it might have been a skinny guy like me that they were originally, before they became a bodyguard. But the Lord says, okay, come, no problem. But now, being in that spiritual world, they are a little bit too tired. That relationship always being at the gate with the Lord, and where they see these cowboys and other devotees are always jumping on Krishna, they are running with Krishna, they are playing in the forest. So they also desired to have something called a birya ras. What does birya means? Bir. Bir means strength. So sometimes the Lord attracts those people who don't surrender with the awe and reverence, but they want to be a challenging factor to Krishna, but also attain him through that. That is called a birya ras. Birya means you want to see this power potency of Krishna. You want to realize how powerful is he. So therefore, for that, what do you need to do? You need to fight with him in order to realize how strong he is. So therefore, these people desired to be the part of this birya ras. So whenever now Lord comes down to fight with Hiranyaksha, first of all he has to make Hiranyaksha feel that the Lord is powerful, isn't it? So for first 28 days, they fought so much. the Hiranyaksha was giving a good challenge to the Lord also. He was making few strikes here and there. So the Lord was getting hurt all over the place. It's like, can you fight with the person who can't even punch you once? Like you are the one that is punching him all the time. Pooh, pooh, pooh. Then what is the point of fight? After some time you will surrender. So therefore, the Lord also likes to enjoy the biriyarans. So whenever he is fighting with the demons, you always hear about the good match. How that this guy hit the Lord and the Lord hit him back, and after fighting for 28 days, the Lord decided, no, ab to ho gaya. About it's too much now. I think we should bring this to end. So then he struck Hiranyaksha once. He came out of the water. So naturally, fighting with the water for a long time, the Lord's body was very weight. You know what do the boars do when they come out of the water?
Sand, muddy.
They go, so they take all the water out. So that's what he did. A severe. Then the hairs from the body of the Lord flew out. And they became what? Kusha grass. So these days, the importance of kusha grass comes so much in every pujas. Where is the kusha grass? Where is this? Where is that? Because this is actually the hair coming from the body of Lord Brahadev. So therefore, officially when you want to go for the meditation part, you need a kusha grass mat. Whenever you are doing the deity worship, you have to be stepping on the kusha grass mat. It has been described in the scriptures that the main reason why people use the deer skin, sometimes you hear of that in scriptures, and kusha grass is nothing like no insects, snakes, scorpion will climb in this kusha grass. No one does that. It's always safe. So even while you are meditating, nothing is going to attack you. So that is the purpose behind it. So after the pastime of the boar incarnation, we hear about the 8th incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he comes into the tract of land called the Kim Purush Varsh. Kim Purush Varsh is Bharat Varsh. Bharat Varsh, the name of the Bharat is also known as Kim Purush. Okay? So the Ishtadev of Kim Purush Varsh is Lord Ram. And who is the worshipper? So there is a Lord and there is a devotee. Now who is the worshipper?
Hanumanji.
Hanumanji. So Hanumanji is the worshipper. So Hanumanji is worshipping. So it has been described that there are two reasons why Lord Ram, two teachings to be learned from Lord Ram being in this world. So what is the desire of Lord Ram? What happened from the beginning of Ram's life? What happened? If you analyze it, that Lord Ram is born. Yes? Right in between, Maharaj Dasrath had a big dreams about what he wants to make Lord Ram. And what happened? Somebody came and took him away. Who was that? Vishwamitra. Okay? So right from beginning, he had to go with his brother to forest, to Vishwamitra. And how was his first part of his travel forest?
On foot.
Enjoyed, very nice. They went in foot, they visited all the holy places, because that was the desire of Lord Ram. The beauty of Dham Tirtha. What do you gain and how to go for a pilgrimage? No problem, absolutely no problem. Isn't it? He went everywhere, he protected the Brahmanas, he went from Setu Bandhan all the way to Kanyakumari. And after he reached Kanyakumari, then there was a news. And what was the news? The news was that Maharaj Janak is doing a sacrifice. So Vishwamitra insisted that we need to go because this is a great king, my dear Ram. We need to go here. So he insisted. So before even coming back to Ayodhya, Vishwamitra thought, I have already taken them around. It has already been quite a few years that he has been away from home. So now he is to get married. He is 17 years old. Maybe I should take that responsibility. I will find him a girl also. So then Vishwamitra heard of the Swayamvar. So he brings them there. So now he comes home. After he comes home, there is again a plot made in order to send him back to the forest. So already spent such a long time in the forest. And he comes back to the house. Then by the time he comes back, there is a big plot made that how Ram should go back to the forest. So first time he went with who? Vishwamitra, Rishi. Now second time goes with who? Wife. So Srimad Bhagavatam says that. He says, if you are going to be traveling to Tirtha Yatras, better not carry your wife. Because Tirtha Yatra means one pointed. That you have so many ideas of, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to go there. So Ram had all those ideas in his head. In between, Ravan comes and takes Sita away, all his plans are destroyed, then he has to go back to Lanka to fight. Because right from beginning, when he was told that you might have to go to forest, he said, I'm so lucky, because I was born to have a Rishi Sangha. I always wanted to go and associate with the great sages. Now, the arrangement is made for me. I don't have to be in house. I can go to the forest. But then he begins to teach that if you intend to go for a pilgrimage and you want to carry a luggage with you, it will never happen. It is going to be a source of anxiety for you. So right from the day he traveled with Sita to the forest, there was a problem. Like Lord Ram wanted to go to certain mountains to visit, but he used to say to Sita, are you okay? She said, no, my legs are hurting. So he has to stop from going there, because Sita's legs were hurting. So later on, it has been described, right in Srimad Bhagavatam, that Ram says, I actually explained, Lord Ram said, that those devotees who are really trying to attain the ultimate success of Sadhu Sangha and Tirtha Yatra, make sure you use your brain before you get married, because all these things are not possible. So Lord, by his life, he showed that how difficult it is. If you are going with a big luggage, big family, and you still have a dream. I used to remember that before I was married, every 6 months I was in Vrindavan. Every 6 months, I did my birthday mandal program, everything. And after I got, married, it has been 6 years, I have just got once in between. Nothing works out. So, that's what the teaching of Lord Ram is. Now, the scriptures explain that when Lord Ram comes, he says, the word Ram itself is the most purifying syllable of the word. What does Ram means?
Anand, pleasure.
Now it comes from the word Raman.
Ramata.
It comes from Raman. Raman का शब्द क्या होता है? What is Raman means in Hindi?
जो हर जगह रम रहा है.
जो रमता है. बोलते क्या बोलते? What do they say in India? क्या रमता साधु? बहता पानी? Sadhu means to be Raman. So Ram means one who is always happy and jubilant in any situation. So simply by uttering this name Ram, one becomes completely satisfied in life. So therefore, Hanuman says, who that is burning with the existence of the material world, we deny accepting Lord Ramchandra. Who, with any desire of salvation, will deny accepting him. Just like it has been described that those people who accept another process, rejecting the process of Raman, like Krishna's name is what? Radhika Raman. So this Raman Sabda is there always. So those people who are trying to do any good to themselves in a life, who can achieve any happiness by not accepting Lord Ramchandra. Hanuman is challenging everyone. Who you try, I will see how you are going to be successful. So therefore, existence of Ram is for Sarve Ramanti, to make everyone jubilant. Just like sometimes the objects don't have to be. The understanding that people have is, in order to have the good result, the process has to be hard. Isn't it? So sometimes people say, like, the logic that we follow is, if you don't study very hard, how are you going to make a good money? Isn't it? So concept of studying hard to make a good money is there. So everyone follows that. But who are the biggest, most richest people? The people who are the hard workers, or the people who, basically had no studies and opening the business this stage?
Yeah, drop-offs.
All the drop-offs, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the point is, we are not talking about anyone's drop-off here. So the part is, the happiness does not really rely in a hard working all the time. It can be an easy process. So therefore, normally, when somebody says to you, that you say, oh Panditji, there are so many difficult situations going in my house, I'm facing the hard part in my life, what do you don't want me to do? If somebody says, okay, 15 din tak kuch bhi mat khao, for 15 days don't even drink water. Okay? Then you have to stand in one toe. Yes? You have to stand in one toe and next to the fire. Then we think, kya process, what a nice process that is there. Somebody is giving me an important process because you know the hardness of that. So that people are more interested on. But if somebody says Ramati iti Ramaha, just say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then people say, no, this is too easy, maybe there is no good result on this one. So we have this tendency to think that way. Isn't it? If you are well educated, even if you are jobless, people think that you have good money. Why? Because of the nature of your austerity. So people see in austerity, but what is the nature of Lord Ram? Less austerity and more result. So this is the nature of bhakti. In bhakti, what is the hard labor? Like Prabhupada used to say, people say that, am I spending or am I wasting my time doing devotional service? What is the proof that I am going to get God? Sometimes people say that, isn't it? So what is the proof? Now, our reply to that is, it's a fact that every one of us have attained how many births so far? How many births you think that you have taken so far, Prabhu?
Countless.
Sorry?
I don't know.
But the fact is that, yes, we have done many. The fact is that we have done many. We don't know how many. It's a countless. What is the success in all that? What have we really attained, do you know? It's like, life is something like this. In India, we choose sugarcane. Who choose the sugarcane? The people. So after chewing the sugarcane, what do they do? They throw it away. Now, who comes back there to chew that sugarcane that has been thrown away? The cows. Yes? The cows come back. So, you chewed the sugarcane, and whatever you could chew, you chewed it. Yes? You spit it out because there was no juice. So the cow comes and thinks that there is more juice, so she takes the sugarcane back and begins to chew again. So the cow is chewing and she digests it. She puts in the stomach. Then she throws in the form of a stool. Then the pig comes, thinks, oh, maybe there is some taste remaining in the sugarcane again, in the form of a stool. Then the pig is again trying it out. So Lord Ram says this is the reality of the world. Many of us already have chewed what has been chewed already. And this is called what? Punarvitayo iti charvadana. We have chewed many times. So right now we are chewing something as in the form of a human being. Then the same human being comes in the form of a, say that cow, dog, hog or something. So then we say maybe there is more taste after I chewed it out. So who threw it out is you in a different species of life. Then the same living entity accepts another species of life, then begins to chew the same thing thinking there is. Many times we might have eaten grass also, isn't it? Instead of dal roti. Many times it might have been the durva grass. Or many times it might be the different. So now right now if we say, Ki Prabhu, can you just, don't eat anything for 1 month, just take all the greens and leaves. We have a problem with that. Except if you like the salad and you can take salad all the time. But still not grass. So the Shastras say everyone been chewing. Many lifetimes. What is the success so far? Any success? Same punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, jatarir jataram, janari jananam. We have accepted another mother, isn't it? Everyone of us has mother. And we have accepted another father. And is everyone afraid of the next part called the death also? We can feel that, isn't it? Otherwise, if no one has a fear of death, you will be just driving in a highway, just press your accelerator and just let it go all the time. Why use brakes in between? Because everyone has a fear of death. So many times we have taken birth, many times we have died. Again, we have faced the same situation of birth and death. So it's already total failure for our life. We have already failed. Any success so far? So the Shastras say, being a devotee, it might be a chance again. If you could take 100 chances and come to 0, take one more chance. If this works out, it's the best. Isn't it? But after all, say this. Being a devotee is useless. Okay, your 100 lives are already useless as not being a devotee. And 101 lifetimes, you thought, let me be a devotee, let me be a vegetarian, let me not eat onions and garlic, let me worship Krishna, let me fast in Ekadashi. Okay, you try this life standard. At the end of the life, you come and you realize that this was useless. But at least you can say, I ate a healthy food, isn't it? I slept less, like a bear. I talked nicely to the people. Well, being devotee means talking nice to the people also. So I talked nicely to the people, people liked me. But even if you did not attend Krishna, is this a success? In some way. So therefore, what is the loss? If you could try out 100 lives and become unsuccessful, try one more life and check out whether this works. Because everything else did not work. You had too many businesses, none of the business worked. Everything was a trial. Isn't it? Anyone succeeded? If we did succeed, we will not be here with so much problem again. So therefore, Hanuman says, anyone that wants any type of justice for himself, he said that he is drowning in the ocean and the large boat has come and the captain of the boat is just grabbing the people and saying, okay, you are drowning, just jump into the boat, but you don't want to get into the boat. So he says, the Kripa of Ram Nam is like a gigantic boat for the people who are drowning in the water of birth and death. So therefore, anyone that wants justice for himself must accept the lotus feet of Lord Ram. Now you might say, what is the difference between Lord Ram and today is a glorification of Ram, so I did this. Then where does the knowledge of Ram and knowledge of Krishna stand? Anyone knows the distinction between these two personalities? It's not two personalities. It's the same personalities.
Different form,
Okay. So most of the time, some of us are understood in one feature. Just like in your office, no one calls you Baba. Does anybody call you Baba? So you are Baba only in one space. And in the office you are something else. It's the same person. And if somebody calls you Baba in the office, will you like it? Although that is your favorite title you like. Instead of saying Sir, and if your children call you Sir from tomorrow, you have a big problem with that. Although it's the most likening word. But in some spaces, you don't really want to be called. So according to the scriptures, that up to Satya Yuga, the name of Ram always came first in a chanting of holy name. Therefore in India there is some type of confusion. Sometimes people go Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how do we go? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Why the change? If you analyze it, what is Lord Ram? When you talk about Lord Ram, what do you think of it? Maryada Purushottam. He has some Maryada. Okay, standard. And when you hear about Krishna, any standard? No standard. As I said, only one qualification for Krishna. What is that qualification? Rupa Goswami uses very nice term. It says you pay 10 price for Lord Ram. You pay 1 price for Lord Krishna. And that 1 price for Lord Krishna is lolyam cha api mulyam. What does that mean? भगवान कृष्ण के पास जाने के लिए मूल्य क्या चुकाना है आपको? What price do you have to pay to surrender to Krishna? What price? Lolyam cha api mulyam.